Hello, this is RsGames 1999, back with the second part of Pokémon Platinum. And I was gonna skip over this part initially, but I didn't realize that Looker shows up in this game right about now. So I'm not gonna skip over that. Looker is literally one of my favorite things about these games, especially Platinum, as this is the first game he shows up in, if I'm correct. For those of you who don't know, Looker's basically one big Doctor Who parody. He's also, I didn't even find that out until recently. I just love Looker without even knowing that. But he's basically one huge Doctor Who parody. He's also he's supposed to be some sort of detective who's undercover, and he investigates shit, and he basically plays a big part in Pokemon Platinum. But in the future games, he still shows up after you've beaten the Elite Four and stuff. I remember I was laughing my ass off when he showed up in White 2 after I'd already beaten the Elite Four and everything. I love Looker. I love how he shows up in these games. He's one of my favorite things. So we're in Jubilife. We've gotten this far. If you remember the last part, Shinx got up to level 7, and we should be strong enough to take on a few more Pokemon and get stronger as we go on. I think you can catch a Badoo in this route coming up soon. So I'm going to explore a little bit and see what I can find, but not really sure. This is trainer school, so Barry's going to be there. I'm going to heal up first because Shinx is a bit low on health, so I'm going to do that. I know I keep talking constantly. I'm going to talk a little bit less as time goes on, I promise you. But I'm just trying to keep as much commentary as I can and trying to keep it interesting because I understand Let's Plays get very boring when the person you're talking, when the person who's talking doesn't even speak or speaks too much. So let's go into the trainer school and see what we find out. I'm pretty sure you can get some items if you fight the right people here. Yeah, Barry's there. What's this item here? Oh, got an X attack. I never actually use these battle items, really. I do occasionally, but by occasionally, I do mean very occasionally. I almost never use battle items. I really hate them. I don't know. I don't know. Hate's not the right word. But it's not that I hate them, it's that I just really didn't see the point of them before, and I'm just so adapted to my own style at this point that it's difficult for me to change. Oh, we got Shinx up to level 8. Okay, I forgot that. I can't believe I forgot how high level my own Shinx is. But anyways, yeah. I understand the purpose of X Attack and all that stuff. It's to raise the stats of Pokemon who don't already have abilities that can do that. But what I don't get is why do that when most Pokemon this early in the game already have moves like Leer or Growl or other things that can modify stats. I mean, if you already got that, then what's really the point of using an item to do that? And I think later on in like the Elite Four and stuff, I did use a couple of X specials on my Blastoise and Pokemon MMO. But, I never really used them in the main games. I never did. I don't know. I might use them. I'm going to pre-order Sun and Moon as soon as I can, because I'm really hyped for those games, especially after the big Lockstin Noggin theory. I love theories in general. I love Pokemon theories. Because there's such a deep lore in Pokemon, it's really fun to see what other people think and how they interpret like the different things. One of the theories I love is that the unknown, the tail on a Wobbuffet is actually an unknown. And the reasoning behind that theory is that, first of all, Wobbuffet doesn't really get much damage on it if you attack the blue part of it. But if you attack the tail, it instantly uses Destiny Bond, according to its Pokédex entries. And that might be because the tail is actually the Pokemon itself, and the blue part is just, oh god, he's potions. Or she, this is Christine, not the other guy. I don't fucking know what their names are. But I'm just gonna use Leer a little bit. I don't usually use stat lowering moves like this, just I don't want to have to deal with this. And I know Bidoof has absurdly high defense, so I'm just gonna try and use Leer once, and then I'm gonna go back to attacking. So, as I was saying, the theory goes like the tail on a Wynot, like Wobbuffet's previous form, only has one eye, despite Wobbuffet's having two. So it's totally possible that one-eyed black Pokemon could be an unknown. Now, Lockstin explains this a whole lot better than I do. I'm going to leave a link in the description to that theory, because I love that video with a burning passion. I love Lockstin's theories in general. But Pokemon, in general, just has so many interesting theories. Game Theory and Noggin have made several of them. But there's just one mega theory that... Oh, Charge. Okay, that's the first electric type move. If I remember correctly, that raises special attack and increases critical hit ratios, but I don't really remember. I'm having a hard time remember what Charge does. Anyway, let's switch the Pokemon at the head of my party. Right, that's not a touchscreen, that's the normal screen. Okay, because now Shinx is getting above Piplup, so I want to balance them out. That's the core principle of keeping a balanced team. Keep them the same level or relatively close to the same level. And when you're this low level, you can't really afford to get even one level above or below the other Pokemon, because even one level can mean a big difference. Town map. Alright, that's how you get the town map. Okay. I remember in Red and Blue, in Red, Blue, and Green, you would get the town map by talking to the sister. Not talking to the rival themselves. Oh, I could have sworn you battled them in here. All right. I don't know. I thought you were supposed to battle your rival here, but I guess that happens a little bit later. Let's heal. Do we need to? Yeah, we just had 2 battles, so let's heal a little bit. Okay, something plot related is happening now, so I guess I have to get back in. Tell us how Pokemon trainer get had enough. Oh, okay. This is how you get the Poké-Etch or whatever the hell it is. I almost never use that thing, or whatever it even is. I guess. Should I? I'm not even gonna. Should I try? I'll do it, just because, you know, for the sake of completion. All right, we got all 3. We got all 3 of the coupons for the Poké-Etch, so we're gonna go ahead and turn those in and get that taken care of. I'm pretty sure you need the Poké-Etch for things like the item finder and stuff like that, so I guess it might still help to have it, even though I don't really care that much. So, Pokemon Watch. Okay. Is that the correct time? Yeah, that's the correct time. Okay. Oh, I like how that automatically syncs. That's cool. Anyway. Let's go ahead. Up here... Oh, there's trainers to battle. Cool. Okay, before we do that, I'm gonna go get that item up there. What is this? Oh, Paralyze Heal. That might be helpful later on. Cool. Alright, now let's go over and fight that girl over there. Let's see. Yeah, Piplup's at the Hammer Party. I remember that. Okay, let's fight. I'm gonna try to find as many trainers as I can, because I usually try to do that, just because I like having my Pokemon as high level as I can whenever a challenge comes up, and I know that helps a lot. Oh, actually no, come to think of it, I might want to have Shinx at the Hammer Party soon, just because Piplup is gonna go into the cave soon and fight a bunch of Geodudes because of hikers and enemies like that, and I'm gonna be fighting a lot of stuff that Piplup's gonna have an easy time killing. But Shinx, being an electric type, might actually suffer a little bit, because the only attacking moves it'll have are electric and also normal type moves, which are going to be not really that useful against things like Geodude or Onix. So I might want to... After this fight, I'm going to put Shinx back at the head of the party, I guess. That might be a better move. I'm trying to think of something interesting to talk about. God damn. Oh, I guess this is relevant. I'm going to talk about the Hoopa movie that they released a little while ago. I don't even know how long ago it was at this point. I haven't been keeping up with Generation 6 very much. Generation 6 is the one generation I've never played. But, I'm going to talk about the Hoopa movie and all my rant about that, because I do have a lot to say about the Hoopa movie. I feel very strongly about it, and I don't necessarily know if it's positive or negative, because there's some stuff I like and there's some stuff I don't like. To preface this, I usually try to watch the Pokemon movies just because I do like Pokemon. And I also have a very strong feeling about a lot of these movies. I love the Darkrai movie, for example, and I like the Giratina one a lot as well. And which Giratina one, you might ask? I like the one that's specifically about him and Giratina and Shaman. That was a good movie I like. But one of the things I don't like about the Hoopa movie, spoilers for the Hoopa movie in case you haven't seen it. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. The Hoopa movie in general has its head up its own ass so fervently that I can't even describe how many problems I found with it trying to watch it. Now, granted, it wasn't like it was not entertaining. It was a good movie to watch just because of how much stuff was going on, how well animated it was, and just how entertaining it was in general. But the Hoopa movie, there are so many plot holes and inconsistencies that you could probably like make it into a slice of Swiss cheese. The reason I say that is like just stuff in general, like inconsistencies you would think of. First of all, Hoopa Unbound is supposed to have control over Dialga and Palkia, but in that event doesn't have control over time and space. And if it does, then why doesn't it just erase the people it wants dead from existence? But instead, it just decides to chase Ash and Hoopa and all these people around, instead of actually, you know, utilizing the legendary Pokemon it summoned to their full extent. So that's a little bit frustrating. But on top of that, there are some things that just flat out don't make sense. Like, for example, why are Kyogre and Groudon in the same place, not destroying the entire world, let alone in their primal forms? I mean, I get that Rayquaza was there, but he didn't Mega Evolve until long after Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre were there. So by all extent of logic, they should have destroyed the planet even being there. So, I mean, it's a little bit annoying seeing all the inconsistencies there. Because usually Pokemon's so good about keeping consistencies between its lore and all that stuff, and seeing stuff like that totally and completely ignored is a little bit frustrating. God damn it, Skype! It's a little bit frustrating. But to alleviate that, there are a lot of things I did like about the movie. For example, seeing the triple Dragon-type Mega Evolutions, those being Rayquaza, Latios, and Latias, was really cool. Seeing Rayquaza use Twister was really cool. And I love every time they used Hyper Beam in the X and Y animations, just because Hyper Beam being black fits so well and makes it look so much cooler. And also, speaking of black things, Rayquaza being shiny. That was one of my favorite things. Rayquaza shiny looks just fucking rad. And seeing him used in an actual movie as a shiny, let alone Mega Evolving like that, that was one of my favorite things. I loved that so much. So despite its many flaws, I do like the Hoop movie, at least for a few things. But nonetheless, there's a lot of inconsistencies about that movie that honestly I just can't ignore because of how prominent and hard to ignore they are. There's a Starly. I'm not going to catch this. I don't really want one yet. I don't even need a flying type at this point because I'm not going to have fly for a while. I forget exactly when you get the HMs in this game. It's been a long time since I played Generation 4, but I do know you get them eventually. Oh, and I also recently watched the Diancie movie, because that was on Netflix as well. For those of you who don't know, like, the Indigo League anime, X and Y, the Diancie movie, and the, or Diancie, however it's pronounced. The Diancie movie and the Hoopa movie are all on Netflix. But yeah, my thoughts about the Diancie movie, it wasn't quite as... It didn't really have anything wrong with it that I noticed, like, that was really prominent. I liked the movie. I think it was a lot less infuriating than the Hoopa movie, because despite the fact that there were some things that were a little bit that I didn't really like the entire concept of Carbink and Carbink being able to speak and all of that was a little bit too much for me to take in. I think the entire concept of giving Pokemon telepathy was a little bit weird. Part of why I like movies like The Rise of Darkrai so much, where none of the Pokemon have telepathy or anything like that, and it's just telling a story using Pokemon that doesn't have any speech. That's part of why oh god, I have to do this rival battle now. That's part of why I like Rise of Darkrai so much. And, oh god, now I have to do this. I'm glad I leveled up Shanks a little bit, at least. But the Diancie movie had telepathy on not one, but two of its Pokemon. A Carbink and Diancie herself, which made for an even less believable story. Because not only do I have to believe that Diancie has telepathy, but I also believe that something else that's totally not even significant has telepathy. Which, by the way, in the Pokemon world, is totally weird. How do they have that? I understand things like Psychic-type Pokemon, like maybe Mewtwo, Pokemon that are really connected to Aura, like Lucario. Those make sense. But then expecting me to believe that a Pokemon that is totally unrelated to any sort of psychic power, like a Carbink, has telepathy is just too much for me to believe. But despite those kind of flaws that I didn't really like all that much, and I'm gonna be honest right now, I hate it whenever anime uses 3D. It's almost never tasteful, and it's really just not easy for me to digest. Seeing Xerneas used in 3D animation was a little bit... I didn't like that. But on the opposite side of things, I did very much like seeing Yveltal in this movie. Yveltal used a lot of 2D animation. It looked really cool. And I had a lot of awesome moments, too. You just got a sense for how powerful Yveltal is in this movie because of how much destruction it wreaks on everything and how much power it displays. Yeah, I liked the movie. I didn't really think it was as good as The Rise of Darkrai. I don't think any of the movies are as good as The Rise of Darkrai. That's my favorite one. I need to stop comparing them to Rise because that was just too good a movie for me to compare everything to it. That's not even fair. As for other Pokemon moves that I liked, obviously Giratina. I said that earlier. Partially because Giratina is one of my favorite legendaries. I love all the Sinnoh region legendaries. I love the Sinnoh region Pokemon in general. Because, first of all, Sinnoh is one of my most nostalgic generations. It was the first time I actually owned my own main series RPG Pokemon game. So seeing all these ones gives me a huge nostalgia bomb every time that I see them. And goddamn it, I'm doing barely any damage to Turtwig at this point. I hope he doesn't have any potions. But, it's basically one huge nostalgia bomb whenever I play through one of these Gen 4 games. Because I grew up on Pokemon, but most of what I grew up on was playing my friend's Emerald and my Pokemon Stadium 2 and Snap, and then watching the VHS tapes. So when I first got to play my own DS game, it was a great experience, and I never had anything like it because I didn't have a Pokemon RPG before, and playing one for the first time felt great, just because of how much fun it really was. Alright, I'm going to swap over to Piplup, because I don't want Shinx to faint, but it's about to. And I know Turtwig's defenses are really fucking high, so I'm probably going to try using Bubble. I know it's not very effective, but it'll probably do more damage than Tackle at this point, or Pound. Piplup has Pound, right? Yeah. I'm going to try Bubble, and I'm going to try Tackle and see which one does more damage. Okay, I think Bubble's probably going to do more. And I know it's not very effective, but Bubble's a special move and Pound is a physical move, and those defense stats are actually completely separate in these games, for those of you who don't know much about the competitive side of things. Oh yeah, the speed fell. I'm sure I really needed that when I was already faster than him with both my Pokemon. Thanks, Bubble, for being a great move. I think Bubble damages multiple Pokemon, does it? I think it does. I gotta look that up later. But, yeah, even then, Surf does the same exact thing, so why would I want Bubble? One of the advantages to picking a water type is that you can learn Surf as soon as you get it, and you don't have to worry about catching another water type. I mean, in generations like 3, where you can catch a Lotad right away, yeah, that's not really that big a problem. But in generations like 1, where water type Pokemon really don't show up outside of the water, that can be a huge deal. So, and, I guess thankfully in Generation 1 there were a lot of Pokemon who didn't need to be water type in order to learn Surf. Like Nidoking and Nidoqueen were able to learn it without that, and then Linoone in Gen 3 was able to learn it as well. So, I don't know. No, I guess I could have just caught Bibarel, couldn't I? That would have worked out plenty. Well, yeah. Okay, Shanks got to level 11 before the cave, so I guess that's good enough, yeah. I'm gonna go heal up. I'm gonna do a little bit more, but it looks like I've been recording for a while, so after I get healed up, I'm probably gonna go to the mouth of the cave and beat whatever trainers are around it, and then I'm gonna stop this part. I think 2 parts should be enough recording for today. It'll be easier for me to record tomorrow, probably. I do still have some editing I want to get done tonight as well, so I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna go to the cave and beat all those trainers. Alright, we're back here. So there's a little bit more before the cave we're going to do. We're going to fight this guy, namely, and we're going to go get that item, and we're going to fight the trainers that are before it as well. Oh, he's a Zubat too, I get. That's kind of cool. I think Shinx evolves at either level 14 or 16. I forget. I'm hoping it's 14 because that will make my life a little bit easier. I also went out of my way to try and get a Shinx with. I guess I didn't really have to. If I didn't catch one with Intimidate, I probably would have went out of my way to try and catch one. God damn it, Skype! But I probably would have went out of my way to try and catch a Pokemon with a Shinx with Intimidate as opposed to one with Rivalry, because with Rivalry it does do a bit more damage to Pokemon of the opposite gender. Pokemon of the same gender though, it does half damage. I'm not sure it's half damage. It is lower damage though, and I don't want that to be the case because I don't want inconsistencies in that. I'm not even sure how that affects legendaries. So I just want Shinx to have Intimidate because that is in general a more useful ability and it's less situational as well. But on the opposite side of things, Rivalry is a decent ability in that if you just so happen to be using it against a Pokemon with a different gender, then it does help a lot. And you can technically switch out the Pokemon depending on what gender the Pokemon you're facing is, but you can't see that when it tells you which Pokemon is being switched in. You only know the name, you only know what Pokemon's being sent in, you don't know what gender they are. So unless you're like a huge freak and have memorized everything, or if you just look up a guide and know what gender it is from the beginning, then Rivalry is a really situational ability and really doesn't work all that well. Intimidate, on the other hand, works in trying to catch Pokemon. It makes it helps get their stats lower. It helps them your Pokemon get damaged less in the process of catching them, and it also helps in general trying to get really strong Pokemon down to the same level as yours. And you don't have to waste a turn using a stat-lowering move like Leer. That's why I like Intimidate so much. It gives me the benefits of Leer, but I don't have to waste a turn doing it. But then, I'm not sure what its hidden ability is. It wouldn't even matter, because in this game I don't think hidden abilities are a thing. But, oh, can I battle you? No, I cannot. Okay, and I'm just gonna move on then. What's over here? Nothing. I have to use... No, I don't have to use Surf for that, I just have to get over there first. Let's battle you. And we'll move on over to the lake, get that item, and we'll be done. So, also, forgive me if I have to split these up into separate parts. I don't really know how long these videos are going to be. I'm really not sure at this point. So it's entirely possible that I'll have to cut these parts that I'm recording right now up into different parts for the sole purpose of meeting the guideline of 15-minute long videos. But it may not end up being the case. I just don't know at this point, because I haven't posted up a single part at the time of this recording. I'm recording parts 1 and 2 like back to back. But once I know that, I'm just gonna be better about that and try to record things differently. I don't really know. I guess I'll figure things out as I go along. Anyway, Shinx is leveling up fast. Holy shit, I need to... okay, again, the cave is going to help me level up Piplup, so I'm not totally worried about that. Sorry if I'm dragging along with this stuff. I'm just trying to keep this as entertaining as I can. Moving on. Oh, God, you. Okay, I didn't even know I didn't even know we were going to fight you. I wasn't prepared for this shit. I'm trying to think of something interesting to say here. I haven't really seen all the Pokemon movies, though. One that I've been meaning to watch for a long time is the I forget what it's called. It's the Mewtwo one where he Mega Evolves. It was when Mega Evolving was still a really new thing, and we didn't even know that Mewtwo was going to get a Mega Evolution at first, and we thought it was like Mew 3 and all that shit when it was announced. I've been meaning to watch that for a long time, because it's just something that I couldn't find for a while, and I'm sure it's online by now. But, yeah, I remember there was a big deal made, because I'm pretty sure they changed the voice actor from Mewtwo. Even though, it might have even been said it was a different Mewtwo, but I think there's only one, so I'm not sure. I do remember that they had a different voice actor for him, though. I also want to go back and watch the second Mewtwo movie, because I haven't seen that for a long time. Like, since I was very little, I haven't seen that. And I remember I used to love Mewtwo in general. I remember I had a little Burger King toy of him. I had a lot of Burger King Pokemon. I love those things. I always wanted to have toy Pokeballs when I was little, but I could never have those just because my parents were paranoid about, you know, the whole Burger King thing, where Pokeballs were... children were choking on Pokeballs and the Pokemon in them, which is the children's fault, to be honest. You have to be a fucking dumbass to do that kind of thing, but... I don't know, do I want to catch this Abra? Oh, God! I'm kind of torn right now. I need to switch out Shanks. Dear God, it's about to faint. But, I don't know. I don't know if I should catch this Shanks. This Abra, I mean. I don't know if I should catch this Abra. Because I know I can't trade, so it might be pointless. I might not be able to evolve Abra at all. Which means that once I get to Kadabra, I'll be totally down at the slot, and I'll be constantly having a lower level Pokemon on my team. But at the same time, I love Kadabra and Alakazam so much. I'm gonna pass. I'm not gonna catch this. I'm not gonna bother. No, leave me alone. I'm not gonna bother with that. It's not really worth it, in my opinion. Let's get this item. And we got the Repel. Alright, that's good. Alright, so I'm going to end this part here, and I'm going to cut these together, try to edit these, and I'm going to see how long these are going to be. and I'm going to try and see if I can still upload them even if they're over its 15 minutes, because I don't really know for sure how that system works. If it comes down to it, I have to record less than 15-minute parts, or I have to split these up into different parts, then I will. But I don't really know right now, and I'm going to test it and see how it works. So for now, I bid you adieu, and I will see you all later.